Struggling to manually match candidates to the right jobs in your database? Imagine having an AI-powered system that does all that work for you automatically. In this video I'm going to show you how to set up an intelligent job matching system that saves time and ensures the best candidates are matched to the perfect roles. Welcome back, recruiters and HR professionals. Today I'm excited to show you a powerful solution that will revolutionize the way you match candidates to jobs. We're building an AI-driven job matching system that automatically finds the best candidates for your open positions, all based on the information in their CVs or other information you have available on your candidates, using a combination of cutting-edge tools like Make.com and Pinecone for our RAG system. We'll automate this process and reduce the manual work in recruitment. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully functional job matching system that works for you while you focus on growing your talent pool. Let's dive in and get started. First, we need to sign up to Pinecone. Pinecone serves as our database for our RAG system, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. Essentially, this means it's a database containing all of our open positions. These positions are converted into what's called embeddings. Embeddings are a way of converting text into numerical values, something humans can't easily interpret, but AI can. The AI will then use these embeddings to match candidates to our open positions and retrieves the best possible matches. If it doesn't make sense right now, don't worry, it will become clear as you follow along with this video. So what we are doing here is search for Pinecone.com, log in or sign up if you don't have an account yet. I already have my account set up, so we're clicking create index and we're naming it for our own reference. YouTube. The dimensions, we're going to click setup by model and we're choosing text embedding 3 large. So everything is set up automatically for us. We're clicking create index. And now we have our Pinecone account set up, so we can upload our job adverts to our database. Before we start making the scenario, I'm going to show what my database looks like, or my APS, CRM, however you want to call it. I'm using Airtable for this demo, but any database you prefer will work. Here's my Airtable setup. I have 2 tables, one called jobs and one with the applicants. The goal is to match the candidate's skills and experience with the relevant job positions. In the job table we have the job title and full job description or the job advert. In the applicants table we have the name, we have the CV and we have the extracted data from the CV. For more accurate results, it's better to have all the data from the CV extracted. If you want to see how to do this, I have another video showing you how to set up a system for this. And I also have 3 fields here to match the jobs with. So we're later gonna map the best fitting jobs to these tables. Now let's link this data to Make.com so we can automate the matching process. Create a new scenario. We have to make 2 scenarios. One to upload our open job positions to our database, and the second scenario to query the database with the candidate. First we're gonna set up our scenario to upload the open job positions. I'm using Airtable, so I'm gonna search for Airtable and we're gonna select watch records. Again, if you're using another database you can select that here instead of Airtable. Select the jobs because we want the jobs. Limit, we're going to set it to 1 for now because we first want to test it. And select all for now. The second thing we are going to do is set a variable. because we want to make this job description JSON safe, because we're going to send it to OpenAI later in JSON format. So we have to make sure there are no JSON characters in our job description. So we're gonna click set variable name, we're gonna name it job description. For the value we take this string here, and I'll place it in the description so you can copy it. Interview summary is what we're going to replace with our description. Next thing we have to do is send this data to OpenAI to create the embeddings, which I told you about. So we're going to make an API call, because the module is not pre-set up in make.com. For the URL we're going to type /embeddings /v1/ method is post request. For the body we have to see the documentation of OpenAI so we know what to put in our body. So we're going to search for embeddings. I'm just gonna type it in here, embeddings. This is the string we have to take and input in our make.com scenario. I'll also drop this in the description so you can just take it. Your string, your text string goes here, is what we replace with our job description JSON safe object. So we're going to test this once. I'm gonna run it once. Oh, we have a problem. I found the problem. Replace this with large, because if you remember we selected large in our Pinecone account. The URL shouldn't have a / in the end. So this is the URL we're going to take. So we're going to check our outputs now. This is what we sent to OpenAI. This is the job description. Our output is all these numbers, and these numbers, this is what the embeddings are. So now when we have these embeddings we can upload them to Pinecone. So we're gonna search for Pinecone and we're gonna choose upsert a vector. This means upload a vector. Index name is going back to Pinecone. This string here, the host, without the HTTPS and 2 / and without the .pinecone.io. So we're gonna copy this, going to make the API key we can find here under API keys. Paste that one. Now the vector ID is something we can name for our own reference, so I'm just gonna choose name. The values, this is where we're gonna map our embeddings. We're gonna send a list of embeddings, so we have to choose map because we're not just uploading one embedding but an array of embeddings. The metadata is some data we send with it, which makes it easy for us to know what's in the vector. You can see it as a label. So we're gonna make one named ID, type string, value is the ID from Airtable. We're gonna add another one called job title, and we're gonna map it with, it's also a string, we're gonna map it with our job title from Airtable. And the last one is job description, which is also a string, and we're going to map it to the description from Airtable. And now we should be all ready to go. So we're gonna save it and test it once. And as we can see, it worked. So now we're going to look in our Pinecone account and see if the vector is there. And yes, as we can see, it's there. So these are all the vectors which the AI is going to search through later in our second scenario. And this is for our own reference. So we also get back this information from the search, so we know what we retrieved. Okay, we're gonna delete this one for now, because I'm going to upsert all the jobs now. I think I have 20. I have 28 actually. So we're gonna run all of them through the scenario. So now all of our jobs is in our database, as we can see. So now we have our database full with all our converted job descriptions, so we can set up the scenario to search this database and retrieve the best matching candidate. We're gonna click create new scenario. We're going to select an error table here. We're going to click search records for now. Table applicants, select all. Limit I'm going to set to 1 for now to test the scenario. Now we have to convert all our information we have available on the client into text embeddings also. So we're going to set a variable, name it CV for now, and I'm gonna lay out all the information which we extracted from our CV. If you don't have the information extracted, you can just map the CV txt in here, but I'm going to do it this way, as this gives us more accurate results. Next thing we have to do is make this string JSON safe. So we're going to set another variable. We're going to name this CV safe, and we're going to paste this again, which you can find in the description. We're gonna replace the interview summary variable with our CV variable. Now we're ready to send this to OpenAI and get our embeddings. We're going to make an API call again. This time I have to do it right. /v1/embeddings. It's a post request for the body. Take this JSON object again, paste it in here. Our input is our CV safe variable, and we're going to replace small with large. I'm going to run it once to see if it works. It works, as you can see. We have all of our embeddings here. So now we're going to query our database with these embeddings. So we're going to search for Pinecone, select query vectors, want to map this one again, and we're going to take the embeddings from OpenAI, include metadata. We definitely want that, otherwise we don't know what we are retrieving from our database. Limit I'm going to set to 3 for now, because we want 3 matches. You can also set this to a higher number, depends on what you want. We're going to see if this works, run it once, and it works, and we get back 3 jobs. We want to send this to OpenAI again to have an additional step of re-ranking our candidates. So we have Pinecone now, which gives us back the closest vectors in our database, and now we want to rank them again for an additional layer of accuracy to ensure we get accurate results. You see here that you get 3 bundles back, but we need to make 1 bundle out of it so we can send it to OpenAI. Otherwise we would send it 3 times to OpenAI. I'm going to select aggregator, search model Pinecone, the vector ID and the metadata, other information we don't need. Now we have to transform this into JSON so we can send it to OpenAI. So we're going to search for JSON, transform to JSON, object is our array. And Now we can send it to OpenAI, create a completion, and we want to choose a smart module, the smartest model, message system prompt. I already have my prompt. You can skip the video. Copy and paste this into your own scenario. So what we're telling ChatGPT is that we're going to give it 3 jobs plus a candidate CV, and ChatGPT's job is to output the job that matches the best, the second best, and the best on the third place. We have to feed it our CV and our available jobs now. We're going to map it to the CV txt or JSON string. Max tokens I'm going to set to 0 for now. Temperature I'm going to lower to somewhere around 0.4. Response format is JSON because we prompted it to put this in JSON. I'm going to click OK. Now we're going to see if our scenario is working correctly. Save it and run it once. We can't actually see if it works because we prompted it to retrieve the Airtable ID. So first have to set up our last part of the scenario to link it to Airtable again. So we're going to click update record, going to select our applicant table. ID is this row from Airtable. We don't have to touch this. This is what we want to do. We're going to map our first ID to match 1, our second ID to match 2, and our third to match 3. Click OK. I'm going to see if it works now. If you can see here, there are no matches. Test it now. Let's see what happened. Refresh this. Now we see there are 3 matches in our Airtable, and we're going to check if this information is accurate. So we're going to check Christopher CV. She is an actor, so content creator is certainly good match for her. We only have 27 jobs in our database and only 20 candidates, so you could imagine if you would have 50 or 100 open positions, you get even more accurate results. So we're going to check. Second one, music event coordinator. Yeah, that's also something which would fit her really good. Theater technician is also something which would fit her good. So now we're going to back to make.com and run the scenario for every applicant. So I have 20 applicants, so I set the limit to 20. The full scenario ran for all of 20 applicants. You can see here that all of them are matched to jobs. I'm gonna check one time again if the information is accurate. Gerard, he is a public accountant, ledger processes account and streamlining accounts. Financial analyst is a pretty good job for him, probably. Senior tax accountant, also accounts payable clerk, would also fit him very well. And that's it. Now you have your fully automated job matching system using AI to handle the heavy lifting. You can adjust the matching criteria, add more conditions, and even scale this up to handle hundreds of candidates at once. The best part, it all runs on autopilot. If you're looking to take this further, you could integrate this system with other platforms like CRMs to streamline your recruitment process even more. I hope this tutorial helped you see how automation and AI can transform your recruitment process. If you found this video helpful, make sure to check my other videos on automation for recruitment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.